Hey guys, Scar here with another YouTube video, and this is the Kindred Jungle Clear Guide. I'm going to give you even the Invade clears afterwards. We're going to do the standard ones first, get that over with. So, Kindred clear, it's like, it's never been that fast, but you know, this season, most junglers do less damage to camps. So, you know, I'm going to show you how to do the clear on time. So, when you hit the red buff, you just hit it normally, and you want auto kites, auto kites, auto kite. You just want to keep spacing. And at around 800 HP, you can start cutting it out of the patience bar range. Like right here, you can start cutting out. And you should just die from autos. And here you want an auto, do W, and then you auto the big one the whole time. You can auto the small one once, just for all of them to die, or roughly around the same time. Because this Q right here, you're going to Q, and then everything's gonna die. Also, that one spawned in Narnia. It still died though. And here you want to hold your abilities. You want to do it together because you get 3 Q resets. So you see how I wait. And then I just Q every time it's up. And here I look to auto individual different small ones. And eventually you're gonna see that the camp will all die at the same time. And you want to finish roughly around 157, 2 minutes. And here, again, you hold your abilities, and then you QW. You auto space, auto, and then you look to E around the 800, 700 mark. And then the whole camp will just die naturally. And here you will just Q right away, because 6 seconds is too long to wait for your QC, and you will W as soon as it's up. And you use auto, and you want to E around the 800 HP mark, and then you can start cutting out. And I start pulling the blue like this, and now I hit the blue. Pretty natural, clear. It's 242 right now. The crab spawns at 255. And a lot of the time I like to ward right here. I lost like 2 seconds there, but you pretty much clear a few seconds before the crab spawn. Let's look at the next clear. Okay, so this is blue starts. I mean, this one's pretty simple, and it gets a bit more complicated, I guess, over here. But you will have, like, level 3, all points in your abilities. So, for blue, I mean, just like red, you just want to auto it. So, it spawns, auto, W. I like auto Wing, because you're going to save your W for the next camp anyways. So auto space, auto space, auto space, auto space, auto space. You know, you just keep doing that over and over. And then here you start cutting out around the 800 HP mark. And then you auto QW. And then same thing is auto it. You can use the walls to cancel your Q animation if you want. I don't really do it that much. And you just keep resetting your Q with your W. You can reset it 3 times. Then you also just auto this. Then you can start cutting it around the 300 HP mark, like as so. And then here, you wait for your QWCD, and you Q. The only time where you don't wait if your WCD is like 6 seconds, but if it's like 4 seconds, you might as well wait. And you just hit the wolf camp, very simple. I like it in a small one at least once, so the whole camp pretty much dies at the same time. I don't do 2 points Q. I don't think it's good. And then you just hit the big one when you get here, and then you want to hit the small ones a little bit in between your QC, and then you use auto, then you E, the big Raptor, and the whole camp will just die naturally to your jungle pet. And you can do Krugs or red here, either or is fine. I like double smiting, but I'm going to do 1 smites. But yeah, usually when I do this, I will double smites clear, which I don't mind doing because it allows me to get into the river earlier, and then probably potentially, you know, hit the guy first. That's the advantage of having double smite clear. And here I just hold my Q for my WCD, and I look to E as soon as possible, and then you auto. And then the next Qs will pretty much kill the whole camp naturally. And you'll get to the crab. And this is why I like double smiting on this side. Just because if I double smited, I would have been right here already, and like at 245, 250, I'll be over here. and I can contest the guy. But because, you know, I come late, and, you know, if they path down, they already have control of this bush, and you have to walk all the way here. It's a bit harder. But your champion's really strong in skirmishes, so that's when I do this clear, I like to do double smites. When I do the other clear, because like I'm already right here near the crab, I don't need to do it. If you do Kha'zix instead of the red buff as your 5th camp, you're still pretty far because you have to go like this, or you can go over the wall. It is easy, it is all better as a 1 smite clear to do that, but again, I just prefer doing double smites. So let's go look at the invade paths. Okay, so the first invade path we will look at is starting your Raptor camp. So you can start your Raptors if you go Q start. It's pretty bad with W start. And it's not bad to do, let's say if you're even invading the enemy Raptors, because people won't expect it. So use auto, the big one, and then you Q. And you want to try to like kill the camp all at the same time. So you see how I hit everything I want. Because I want the whole camp to die. All together. On my cubes. You're going to take quite some damage, but it's okay. You have a pot. You're planning to invade. And you see here, the whole camp will die just like that. You will walk in their bot side, and usually you will always skill W, and you use check, whether or not they're on the buff. You can walk like this, and then if you don't think they're starting the bot side, so you can find them on the gromp if you want. So let me show you. Let me just kill this. So when you first initially kill the Raptors, and let's say you don't know which side to start, you should walk like this, because it will show the buff right here, and then you will know instantly they're here if the buff is gone. Right? So that is the first clear, the first invade. Now let's look at the more standard ones. Okay, this is the most bread and butter standard invade to do on this champion. You should know how to do it. It's very important to be able to abuse this invade when it's good. Usually you want to do it if you know you have winning ball lane or even winning top lane, and let's say the game is volatile, like just based off champions. Making the game volatile is always good. Kindred loves it. And if you know, or if you know which side they start. So here, now I go over the wall, so. And again, remember how earlier, you know, we check if they are on the buff right first. So how we're gonna walk, we're gonna walk like this, and we're gonna check it. And if they're on it, yeah, you just, if it's gone, you fight them on the gromp. If they didn't start this side, then you take the blue. The place I ward always, if you have a ward, is around right here, because once they're done their 3 camp, they can go like this, or they can go like this after their 4th camp. So you will see them. Now, once you're finished these 2 camps, right, you have 2 options. You either gank a bot, or you base, and then you open up the map as so, and you can either go straight to your wolves and do your wolves and start leveling up your camps, or you play the defend camps and go back that side and play the crab, the 255 crab. You're going to be level 3 at max anyways for this crab. You cannot hit level 4 as you did in Invade. So yeah, just duke it out. Now let's look at the next Invade. Also, another thing to note, I want you to keep in mind, is that you can go different paths like this and walk in their jungle. Same thing when we do this Invade, I'm going to show you. There's 2 ways to do it. You can do blue into their red Kha'zix, and then you make sure this is warded. Or you can ward this while doing the red, and I'll show you. Or you do blue gromp, and then you walk like this, and you play for the Kha'zix, and then you play to fight them on the red buff. I've done this invade before. It catches them off guard quite a lot, and it's usually the best to do it if you know they don't have a ward in the top lane bush. If they do, it's kind of sus, I would say. So let's do this one first. The other one is very unique, but this is the one you should do most of the time. So you're going to auto, you're going to W, and you're just going to hit this. And then you're going to start cutting it down, because you want to exit the top side of the jungle to walk into his top side, right? So you're gonna auto it, auto it, auto it. And then here I'm gonna start cutting out. And then I'm gonna walk all the way to their red buff. And then here I'm gonna hold my CDs. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through this ward, and then I'm gonna do the red buff. The reason why I hold is because it gives you the most value. You get a lot of Q resets. Usually you should do this invade when you know they start the other side. Because if you do end up starting this side, it's kind of sus, I would say. Because you have to fight them on either the Krugs or the red buff. In here, simply, you go over the wall, and you just do this camp. They're pretty simple. And then you can see when they tap the Raptors, and you can do multiple things. So it's just clear as camp. You know, it's pretty simple. You auto small once. Two autoed it earlier, so they all die at the same time, but it's not much of a difference. And then you're level 3. So now, multiple options. You can play to go here and fight them. Here. Because you'll be a level 3 Kindred with red buff, so you will most likely be stronger. And you can also gank top. But usually, I think ganking top is the worst thing to do, because you allow them to go into their bot side to fight for camps. So it's better to have a more fighting mindset, unless of course the top play is free. And then if you do end up going top, make sure you base ASAP to defend caps, defend camps, not caps. And if you decide to fight here, right, then you should look to fight and just play for the camps, then eventually play for the mark at 255. Simple as that. Now, one more invade, one more. So this invade, you want to do versus Kha'zix usually. Kha'zix is a very cringe time to play versus because of his clear, just like Zara. And one invade you can do is usually they will ward their entrances, so you can invade. So there's one invade, well, so let's do this one first. You can go over the wall here, and you can play to go all the way around. You can go here too if you want, if you don't think it's warded. But the best one to do is just go like this. You know, make sure you're balling, you know, just trying to control the area. And then you just walk in, and then you will play to fight him on the blue area, and you're just going to fight to the death. And you're going to delay his clear. And again, you would rather have that versus champion who can clear faster level 4 before you can. Because if you're both level 2, you're both level 3, it's usually always going to be very nice for you. I'm not saying it's always going to be better straight up, but it usually be somewhat in your advantage. When you do this side, so common words people will do, they will ward this. They ward, sometimes they can ward this, but ward this. So what you want to do, you want to hop over here, so you can dodge this ward. Because look, the ward will not see it. If they ward here, the deepest part, which is what I like to do, make sure I don't get swatted. Yeah, and then you can go all the way around, and you can plan to pull the red buff, or you can go all the way around like this, you know, and then you can fight them on the Raptors if you want. I've done this before in Korea. This has happened to me in Korea, and usually I'm very aware when it happens. But yeah, you just take this, and then you just you just make the game very volatile, which is not bad for you, because again, you're a champion who likes to fight and is very reliant on marks. So, you know, the more fighting the game, the more you enjoy it as Kindred. And these are cheeses that you can abuse for certain champions, or even just do it every game if you want. You can do this one every game, but the one versus Kha'zix and Xar, these type of champions who clear really fast, cheesing this is pretty good, especially if you're able to get into the jungle. If you don't want to fight them level 1, you can just start their opposite side and just make both junglers just run around for camps everywhere and just play for respawn camps and just fight crab fights and just play for kills. Of course I'll have examples of these, you know, surely if I play them in solo queue, but there's been plenty of examples that I've posted on YouTube in the past that you guys can watch. So, you know, make sure you check that out. Either way, yeah, pretty much I covered. Actually, I guess there's one more invade I should show you. So this invade, is when you have a winning, like one lane is winning and then one lane is even. It could be either or. So it's the level 3 invade. So let's say for this side, you know they started top side. You have a Raptor ward here, let's say, and you know they're starting this side, or you see them on the Raptor third camp. What you will do is you're gonna look to level 3 invade. So what it will look like is you're gonna clear all these camps, right? You're gonna walk in the jungle and you're gonna fight them either on the wolves or on the blue. And you're gonna take that camp from them and you're gonna play with your team. So what you have to do is just start your red. Again. Auto, kites. Conserve as much HP as possible while playing. And you just clear the camps. Again, at around 800 HP. You wanna like fully cut it out. Then auto, QW, auto small one, QW again, well not Q. No, I just hit the big one. I only hit the small one once really, because they will both die to the AoE. Make sure you hold this Q for the small Krugs. And then you will go straight to the Raptors. You're gonna hold your abilities one time, so you get them all together. Then you're gonna cut it like this. And you want to make sure the whole camp will die at the same time, so they don't randomly just reset. See as is. And you're gonna walk in, and you can either walk in like this, or walk in like this. That's what you can do. Either way, if you guys enjoyed watching this video, let me know down in the comments below. I have tons of content that I'm releasing on multiple channels. You guys can check it out. Description down below. I have some VOD review content on one channel, and I'm going to be releasing some extra gameplay content like Silver to Diamonds kind of advice. Maybe even like some off-road games, me off jungle champions, or even playing more unique champions you guys can watch. You guys can give me suggestions, because I would say I'm pretty good mechanically to play a lot of different champions and be able to play a lot of different things. So check that out. All links in the description. By the way, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out the Kindred jungle guide, which is also uploaded at around the same time this video is also uploaded, so check that out. This will help you on your Kindred journey. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like, subscribe, and hope to see you guys in the future.